welcome to my YouTube. Today I thought I would mix things up a little bit. I had the most positive birth experience, pregnancy experience. I love talking about it, so I kind of just thought, why not make it into a little video that might be helpful for others who are pregnant or expecting in the future. So yeah, I just feel like I have a lot of good things, a lot of positive things to say about pregnancy and birth. I had a natural birth. Daddy's just into the shop, yeah, baby. So my little girl, she's now nearly 2. So I suppose I'm kind of late talking about this, but I only just made a YouTube, so yeah, I just thought I love to share things, I love to talk about things, so why not? My whole pregnancy, I basically had the easiest, most normal pregnancy. Everything was always good, everything was great. It flew by, I never had any issues throughout the whole pregnancy. Everything was really positive, which I'm so grateful for. I know this is not the case for so many people, and I truly feel unbelievably grateful. You okay? Do you want the lid? I truly feel unbelievably grateful for everything in my pregnancy, everything in my birth as well. My whole pregnancy and my whole birth, mindset was everything. Postpartum as well, mindset and breastfeeding for 2 years, your mindset is literally everything. So it's so important to have a good, consistent, strong mindset. Even before I was pregnant, I was always someone who worked on mindset. Every single morning I write down, I have this book, and I could have done it without this book. Daddy's just in the shop, yeah. So before I had this book, I used to literally do it on my phone. There's an app that I use called The Secret, and another one called Gratitude Garden. And every single day I write these in. And I think I was in uni at the time when I started really I think I read The Secret, the book, and I was like, wow, mindset is everything. So yeah, ever since I was in uni, I had these apps and I write things in it every day. Some days I will forget and whatever, that's fine, because you don't need to be not happy to be able to do these things, because I was always pretty happy. There wasn't a reason I started doing this. I purely just read The Secret and I was like, wow, mindset's great, you can always improve your mindset. So yeah, every morning I write in 3 things I'm grateful for, and then when I got this little book, I will post a little video, I'll attach onto this video this little book that I have as well. So in the morning you write 3 things that you are grateful for in this book as well, and then at the night you write in 3 things that you're going to improve on, that you're going to do better on. And then you kind of you write an affirmation. I love the affirmations as well, big on affirmations. However, affirmations is something I feel I do a little bit more of. I'll do more gratitude rather than I would affirmations, but love them as well. If you have time and you can if you like an affirmation, so good for you. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing forever. So then when I was pregnant, it really every day I was literally I am so grateful for my healthy baby, every single day. And I think when it's your first baby as well, you're kind of not too sure what to expect. But however, I did work as a pediatric nurse before, so I worked in ICU in a pediatric hospital. So we had a lot of mix of ages of kids and things, but obviously you see a lot of babies, newborn babies as well. So yeah, you see a lot of things that can potentially be, yeah, babas. You see a lot of babas. So yeah, you can see a lot of things. Okay, so we had to take a little break there. Aurelia was quite tired in the car, but we are just going to continue with story time. Like I said, we had a super easy, very healthy pregnancy. Thankfully, me and baby girl were so good all throughout. Obviously we had just irregular checkups. We never had to get any more frequent scans or anything. Everything was always good. I always knew that I wanted to try and do everything as natural as possible. In everything is brand new to you, and it's your first baby. Everything is brand new. Like, you don't know, there's so much you don't know. Oh, that's Aurelia just waking up. She's napping just now. Well, okay. She can join in for the rest of the story, but yeah, where it is natural. This is Daddy's feature. Okay, so Aurelia has joined us now. She's woken up from her nap, but she can listen too. So when we got to the end point where she was going to be born soon, the idea and the thought of going into triage, going into hospital, seemed really scary because we'd not done that. Say hi. Hi. Is the man doing the gardening? The man doing the gardening? He's cutting the hedges. One night, as they say, when your waters break, you will know about it. It'll be a big rush, a gush that you can't control. That's what I was told the whole pregnancy, went to the antenatal classes and things, and that's what they said, that you will know when it happens. So one night I was laying in bed and I got up for a pee, and I felt like there was a little bit more, like, I felt like my waters had broken, like trickled a little bit, like literally a little trickle, no more than a trickle. So basically, we were like, oh well, do you know what, even if it was, then we've still got plenty of time, because like they say that it's gonna take a while, your first baby, you're probably gonna have a long labour and things. So I was like, okay, that's fine. This was about midnight, so I went back to bed. My husband, he was like, oh yeah, like, no, it won't be, it won't be your waters, it'll just be something else. So yeah, we went back to sleep, and then I woke up again about, I think it was about 3 a.m, and I had the same again, and it was like another like slight trickle, like a trickle. And I thought, that's something, like, that's something. But again, my husband was like, no, won't be anything. So I was like, okay, went back to sleep. And again, at about, I think it was 6 a.m, 7 a.m, I woke up and I had another trickle. So I was like, no, like, I think that's my waters. So I phoned the triage, the midwifery triage at our local hospital, and they were like, no, you know about it if it was your waters, like, it doesn't trickle, it gushes. So I was like, right, okay, no one's believing me, but whatever. So the lady I spoke to on the phone, the midwife, she was just like, why don't you see how it goes, call back in 2 hours time, and then if you've had any more, potentially we'll get you to come in and we'll do a swab. So there's a swab that they can do to swab the fluid and swab the fluid, or like swab I don't actually know exactly what it is. I think it's amniotic fluid. So they like insert the swab to swab it. So she was like, we'll do that, we can do that. See how it goes for 2 hours. If you don't get any more, then safe to say it wasn't your waters. And if you do get some more, then we'll do the swab just to check. So I was like, okay, well, it doesn't sound like it was my waters. So went about my business, went and done a Tesco collection order. So like literally emptied the whole of I had like 3 crates, emptied it into the car. And I had like some like little period pains, like just felt like a period pain, just a slight little pain. And I was thinking, maybe this is. So then went and done that, got the Tesco order, got in the car, and I went to Boots to collect an order. So I'm walking about like our little town. So this was on the Tuesday, and Aurelia's due date was Saturday. So I was 39 weeks pregnant. So I was just walking about our little town, had an order to collect from Boots, baby things. So went and got that, and then we're standing in the line at Boots, and I thought, there's more. And then I got back in the car, and it's when I got back in the car after walking about quite a bit that the seat was like flooded. And I texted my husband and I was like, okay, yeah, I think we should go. So then I phoned the midwife back. She was like, okay, come in and we'll do the swab. So went in, we got like attached to the baby heart rate monitor, the baby, like my heart rate and my blood pressure and everything was taken, and everything was all good, everything was fine, apart from my heart rate was up a little bit. And I think it's just because I was so nervous. I think it's just because I was so nervous, and I remember my husband just saying to me, just calm down if you're nervous, so it's not up so high. And I was just like, I can't. Like, I was just a bit nervous, and they were like, why are you nervous? What have you got? Mummy's cleaning cloth. You could clean the window for Mama.
Yeah.
So they were just like, well, just calm down and like, don't be nervous because it's making your heart rate go up. And then because the midwife was like, oh, your heart rate's up a little bit, then I was a bit like, oh, as well. So we stayed on the monitor for a bit, and they came and they did the swab thing, and they were like, yeah, your waters have burst, basically, which obviously means like baby's gonna come. So I was like, right, okay, that's fine. I got moved into a ward where they were just going to do like monitoring things. So you don't want your waters to have burst for too long. And like you're not going into active labour because it's a risk of infection to the baby. So I was also, big point of this is probably I was also having contractions throughout all of this. So like I'd said, I was having like pains that kind of just felt like period pains. I was having them. And I feel like they didn't quite believe me about them, but obviously then when they put me on the monitoring, we could see them a little bit. They were like, okay, they're there, but we want them to be stronger and we want them to be more frequent because we want baby to be born soon. We lived like 10 minutes away from the hospital, so I actually went home, got a fish supper. My granddad's sister had knitted a few cardigans and stuff that I really wanted for the birth. So went home, she came and dropped them off, and then yeah, we went back to the hospital, had our fish supper. Cammy's trying to sleep. He's also working during all of this as well, so he had his laptop with him and was working through all of this. So then we're bouncing on the ball, I'm bouncing on the ball, Cammy's working or trying to sleep. You want your ball from outside, really? Is the gardener still there? So yeah, I'm bouncing on this ball. They're doing these, like, they're coming to check how dilated I am every so often. They were so busy. So this was now maybe like 10 p.m. at night. They wanted to do a pessary, so I didn't want any intervention. And at first I was like, no. I want everything to be natural and I don't want any of that. And they basically convinced me and were like, yeah, like you should do it because you don't want it to go too long before baby is born because risk of infection, and then they might need antibiotics and things like that. And I was just like, no, I want it as natural as possible. It was still not what I had in mind, but I feel like one of the most important things about birth plans is being flexible. Like, that was always the number one thing, that I would make sure that whatever was needing to be done in the moment, I was going to be flexible. That was my plan. Baby, I don't put it in about 2 a.m. because I still hadn't dilated enough, and the contractions weren't strong enough and frequent enough. However, like I feel like they were, but I was very much hypnobirthing, bouncing on my ball, staying in the zone and controlling it. Like, I was okay, I was fine. I also got a TENS machine, so I had that on and I was fine. So then at about 2 a.m. they came and they put the pessary in, and I thought, right, I'll let them put it in for a couple hours and then that's it, can come back out. So from about 4 a.m. I was having contractions, like really strong, sore. It took about I think it started working in the first hour, and then it just got stronger and so frequent, like really, really sore. I sent Cammy home to get home and showered and things. And then when he was gone, I just remember texting him being like, come back right now, this is so sore. Like, baby's coming. So then we're sitting, I was sitting by myself, Cammy's on his way back. We didn't live far, so he was coming back with like sausage rolls. But at the point he left, I was like, oh, I'm hungry, I could eat a sausage roll. I could have something to eat. And then he came back with sausage rolls and sandwiches. And I think I had one bite of the sausage roll and then I was sick. And I was like crying in pain. I'd had paracetamol because I was so sore. I was like, no, like everything had gone out the window. I was just like, I'm so sore, I need something. And I was like, no, I need to stick to it. So I got paracetamol. Sleeping Bunnies is our favourite. Go girly. So I had my paracetamol. Cammy gets back. This is about 11 o'clock now. And I literally couldn't move. I'm crying on the bed. Cammy walks in and I'm crying on the bed. And I was like, go get the midwife. It's time to push. Mummy bounce. Mummy bounce. Okay, we're coming to hide a little moment to finish the birth story. So basically, at that point I was like, I'm ready to push. The midwife like appears out of nowhere, and I must have been on the to-do list. And she was like, right, okay, let's do an examination. And she done the examination and she was like, okay, we're going to get you to labour ward right now. And I just remember thinking, I was right, the baby is coming right now. Like, she's coming. So we're sitting, they were like, okay, look, can you walk down? And I was not, like, I could not walk. There's no way in this world I could walk down to labour ward. So they brought me a wheelchair, and I looked at it and I thought, I can't sit on my bum. Like, the baby is coming. And they were like, okay, sit on your side of your bum. And I was like, oh my God, like, can you not just take me on the bed? But they were like, it's easier, so much easier. We can go right now if you just get on this seat. And I was just like, right. So I couldn't even stand by this point. Like, I couldn't even stand. So I'm sitting on this wheelchair, like sideways like this, and we get down to labour ward. And I just remember, as soon as we got into labour ward and as soon as we got into the room, I just felt relief. Like, I felt like, oh, thank God, this is where I need to be. So another thing to note is in the ward before, prior to labour ward, they can't give you anything like gas and air. So as natural as I wanted to be, I was going to do gas and air. Like, that was okay for me. I was going, baby, are you jumping on the bed? Mama jump on the bed too. We're gonna be monkeys. Okay. Come on then. Here we are 2 years later. This is from birth story to 2 years later. You want to hold? Maybe I'm making this too long-winded, you know. I feel like we're like 20 minutes in at this point. But we get to labour ward, we're having gas and air, we're bouncing on balls. Cammy's in, terrified. I'm feeling okay, I'm feeling fine. And then I remember at one point as well, they said no more gas and air. And I'm not too sure the reason on that. So like, now when I see other people's birth stories and things, I've seen people having gas and air up until like birth, I think. I could be wrong on that, but I think. So yeah, we were like, I would say maybe like 2 hours before Aurelia was born, they said to me no more gas and air. So I don't know what the reason for that was. Our heart rates were both fine now, and mine's had like came down. Aurelia's was absolutely fine the whole way through, and they were just like had us both on the monitor and things. And then she was born naturally, a vaginal birth at 6:25, and it was there's no words for it. There's no words for your first baby being born. It's a whirlwind. You're so happy, you're ecstatic, and like all your pain from giving birth just disappears. Like, I didn't feel sore anymore. I felt like I could go and run a marathon, and I said immediately, I was like, I could do that again tomorrow. Like, it was all worth it. So when she was born, she immediately was put on my chest. So I was like, I think I was fully naked by this point, or I had like a bra on, a nursing bra. I had a nursing bra on, but it was down. So she was put on my chest straight away, and we had her skin to skin. And then I think after about 10 minutes, she made her way down to the boob, to the nipple. And I remember being like, should I feed her? Is this too soon? And yeah, they were like, of course, feed her. And the midwife was so good. She gave me like tips on latch. So we took her off and we put her back on. And I feel like that was so key into our breastfeeding journey, that like straight away we got the latch right. And the placenta was delivered as well. We had to try a few different things to get the placenta to come too though. That was a bit tricky. We had some toast and jam in the hospital. Amazing. I actually said, can we get a Chinese as well? Like, I was so ready for, like, I was ready to go home. After Aurelia was born, my mum came in, like just after she was born. I think she was born for like 15 minutes or something. And my mum came in which was so magical. Like, we didn't also know if we were having a boy or girl, so we kept it a surprise. So the moment Aurelia was born, I'm like, is it a boy or girl? And Cammie's like, like he couldn't even get the words out. He couldn't even get the words out. So yeah, there was no feeling like that. It's like true, genuine love from like the moment you hear them, you feel them, like it's just love. You're like, that's my baby. That's my baby. I could just feel her on me, and I'll never ever forget the feeling of just like this warm baby on my chest, like my baby, and I was just like, oh, she's here, she's good, she's okay. And I remember saying, are they okay, are they okay? And the midwives were amazing. They were like, yeah, she's great, she's perfect, she's perfect. And they were so good. My midwives were really, really good. We just chilled in the room for a little bit. They came and weighed her, we had her food, they done all the checks that they do on like mum, and everything was good, everything was fine. And I was just felt so lucky, so grateful that like she was here, everyone was good, everyone was healthy, we were all good. Went up to the ward, then got home the next morning. So they came round and they done like the baby check, I think it was called, and then they were like, okay, you're good to go. And this was like 8 o'clock, so we were genuinely home by like 9 o'clock the next day. And we went home and everything was fab. The midwife came the next day and done like all the checks and things, and everything was good. What else is there to say? I think it's just when it's a bit tough and like you know that baby's coming soon, but like you're not too sure what to expect, what point you're at. And as much, we would done all the antenatal classes, and as much as you can try and educate yourself on what to expect, when you're in that moment it's different. And when you're feeling the feelings that you think are severe but not severe enough for birth and things, like it's quite confusing, that you feel a little bit confused about it all. So like I said, like I felt like I was there, I felt like my contractions were enough, but like it seems that they weren't enough yet, that birth was just about to happen. So yeah, as soon as I got to labour ward, I started to feel relieved, and my midwives, they were so great, they were so good. I just felt really listened to. Everything like that I wanted in my birth plan, they listened to me. They asked me at the start, what do you want to do? And like I told them, and then we really like stuck to it. They really like tried to stick with it. They were so good. And yeah, I think like I had my mum there and I had Cammy there, my husband, so it was important for me to have my mum there as well, just as we're like best friends, so it was just an extra support. And obviously it was her first baby, Cammy's not too sure like what's going to happen and things. It was just extra support for me, and I loved that. And I loved that she was there for the special our baby being born, her first grandchild as well. I think mindset is everything. Like if you have a good mindset, even if things don't go slightly to plan and can be negative, like for me, not 100% being natural, because I obviously ended up needing the pessary. Like if I was to take that as a negative off route, and like just feel sad and annoyed about that, like that, I feel like that could have affected everything else. So I feel like it's having that strong mindset and bringing yourself back when something doesn't quite go 100% your way. Yeah, I feel like even if things aren't going your way, if your mindset's strong, like it's still going to be okay. You're still going to be okay. And I think being on the same page with your partner, like both knowing what you want for your birth, what's important to you, like so that when you're in that moment of in pain and so much pain and like you can't even think straight, they can fight your battle for you. Like if there's something that like they notice that you're oblivious to because you're literally in so much pain, they can be there to support you with that. So having someone to fight your battles for you, someone you trust with your life and support, like my mum and Cammy, I know that if I was unconscious, they would choose the same things that I would choose. Like, yeah, we're so lucky that we had the chance to have a natural birth, that everything got to go like how I ever dreamed it would go, like perfectly. Yeah, everything, honestly, I couldn't have been happier. I couldn't have been happier. And this was just like a normal birth in a normal hospital. Like, we didn't go private, we just had normal birth in a normal NHS hospital in Scotland. And it was really good. It was great. And getting to go home so early as well, like, that's game changing too, because we just got to go home, settle into bed, and then rest. We were so tired after, like, the night before. The 2 nights we never really got much sleep. And then the night Aurelia was born, I remember being in the aftercare ward, and Cammy saying to me, like, get some sleep, go to sleep. And I could not stop staring at Aurelia. I was just laying there staring. And he told me to go to sleep, so I was on my side, and he was like, I know. What are you saying? Oh, the bunnies are all looking out the window. That's so cool. He literally said, I know you're still awake, and I was still awake, just staring at her in her little, like, baby, like, crib next to me in the hospital. Yeah. Since we didn't know what we were having, we had boy and girl cardigans and hats, and my dream was to put her in the pink or put her in the blue. So we done that, and then obviously we had the little pink cardigan on and a little white baby girl. I will attach some videos and stuff of like her newborn kind of days and like us in the hospital and things as well. But yeah, it was really magical. I think you just need to really prepare yourself to be strong, and even when you think you're going to be strong, you think you're going to be okay, like, you still need to like be stronger. Here we are 2 years later with the most perfect baby girl in the world. I think if there's something like in your pregnancy that happens and it's not so negative, I think it's bringing yourself back up, like, and not taking it as everything. If you do need to get more scans and things, like, you need to really just go with the flow and like not take it as like, not let it affect you, and let it steer your course, like, not let it take over everything. Oh, kisses. Oh, he's kissing the camera.
Mama.
And just bringing yourself back to like that positive attitude, that positive mindset, like, everything's going to be okay. And just having faith in like your team, your doctors, your midwife, like, and yourself. If you're feeling something, like, go with it. Don't let other people tell you that like it's actually probably nothing, like, you're fine. You need to go with your gut. Always go with your gut. You kiss it? Oh, nice kisses for Riley. That's so nice. Mummy, get kissy. Oh, Mummy's to kiss Mummy? Okay. Can Mummy have kissy from Riley? Bunny? So yeah, I feel like if anyone has any questions about birth things and stuff, I would love to like try and help. Like, I feel like in America it's bigger to have things like a doula, like a birth partner and things. But I don't know if that's a thing in Scotland. Like, I didn't really hear of like people I knew doing stuff like that. But my mum and Cammy were good. They were pretty good. But for people that were like, do you know, if they never had that extra support system, like, having a doula I think would be a good idea. Someone to really help and support you, and like just be that extra person to help. Uh-oh. Mummy fixed? It's okay, baby, it's okay. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope it was helpful. I feel like I kind of just blabbed on a little bit about my experience, but I feel like maybe it'll just give some people an idea of what to expect when